Welcome to Real Estate Today. I'm Koolik, and today we're coming live from Woodfield Country Club. You know, when you move to South Florida, you have so many choices. Everybody always thinks they're moving to the beach. But the truth is, we have so many options. You can live in a condo, you can live in a townhouse, a gated community, a non-gated community, and then country clubs. So today we're going to have a whole room of country club members. We're going to ask them all the questions and find out all the reasons why they choose this lifestyle. So stay tuned and welcome to Real Estate Today. Welcome to Real Estate Today. I'm Koolik, and today we're in Woodfield Country Club, and I'm surrounded by a lot of friends and colleagues that actually live in a country club. So I wanted to kind of talk to everybody at home about why country club living has become such a popular form of living, actually. Everybody always thinks about moving to Florida. They think about, you know, they're going to move to the beach. And what we all find out is that beach living is not the only choice that you have. And a lot of the people in this room today have decided that that's not an option, and they decided not to just move to just a single-family home in just a neighborhood, but they've decided that the comprehensive activities that exist in a country club are something that they want to participate in. So I'm going to start off the show by going into the audience a little bit and just kind of talking to everybody so everybody at home can get a good understanding of this type of living. So let's see. My wife, Wendy Koolik. Hi, how are you? Wendy and I have lived in Woodfield for how long? 12 years? Probably. Yeah. And when we were first looking to move somewhere, we actually lived in East Boca in a nice single-family home, and we thought it would be a great opportunity to maybe live in a country club. My parents, who are actually here tonight, lived in Boca Point, and you know, we didn't really know what a country club was like. I mean, why do we love it so much? What do you love about it?
Well, the country club's been great because as a family, it's great with young children. One thing I love is you really never have to schedule plans for your kids. There's always something to do, and if you have a day where you don't have plans, if you go down to the pool or the park or the tennis courts, there's always people you can find to have the kids play with or just hang out or have a nice day. And there's always great company around, and they're all friends. They become your friends because they're people that you see all the time.
Right. Someone that I've known for a long time who actually is very interesting, who has lived in the same neighborhood as Wendy and I for the last 12 years, is a good friend of mine, Leo Plevy. And Leo not only has been very active within our little subdivision, which is called the Hamptons, but he has gotten involved in the club probably, you know, almost from the beginning. So Leo, what is, you and Janice have lived here for how long?
14 years.
Right. And what do you take from the country club that really has kind of inspired you to continue to live?
Well, I lived up in Jersey for 37 years in Livingston, New Jersey, and belonged to a club up there for 20 years. When I moved down here 14 years ago, I came into a cold club, was bankrupt. I have now a family of 1,400 and some odd people, and it's a very close-knit. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a gated community, and that's the way it goes. That's the type of living I like, and I think I represent the older crowd of Woodfield.
Right. Well, you know, it's very interesting. You know, we're talking about Woodfield, but you know, country club living, there's so many different ways to enjoy that type of concept. Because if you look, the reason I think it's become so popular and why a lot of these developers have chosen to give people that country club feeling, because when you join a country club, as many of us know, you know, it's an equity purchase. You know, you always hear that word, it's an equity club, which means you have ownership in that club, and we all have a vested interest in making the club prosper, and therefore we can enjoy all the fruits of you know, what that type of community provides us. Historically, most clubs were, you know, you would live in a neighborhood up north. It would be a very elitist kind of thing to join that club. You would have to be sponsored. And the form of living that they've created in South Florida has really, really prospered. Not only do you have equity country clubs in Boca Raton, such as Woodfield and Polo Club and Boca West, to name a few, but you also have gated upscale communities such as Saturnia Isles. I mean, the list goes on, where a lot of my contemporaries live in single-family neighborhoods. They're gated, they have amenities, they have a beautiful pool, a fitness center, and you actually don't have to join the club. And developers have actually taken it even to another extreme, and they've created adult communities with those same amenities. So there's no question in my mind that this type of living is here to stay, and I think it's going to continue to prosper. You know, a lot of people don't truly understand how country clubs run. You know, they all hear that there's a board of directors, there's people who run their little subdivision, and one of my dear friends, Lou Duberman, who has served on the board, happens to be in the audience tonight, and I would love for you to comment and explain to everybody at home, how does a country club really operate?
Well, it operates via the board of directors who are elected by the membership. And in my case, I was on the board for 8 years from the turnover of the developer until just a few months ago. And the positive side is that you're in a position to try to make a positive contribution to your community. On a negative side, you're not going to please everybody. If you please 51%, you're doing well.
Well, I think that's in anything, right?
That's true. That's pretty much it. You do the best you can, and you make the best decisions that are right for the community.
And it's, you know, it's interesting when you look at who typically participates in board decisions or really who are truly involved. It tends to be the people who have the most time. And historically, from my experience, it tends to be people who are retired. And you do find that you have a lot of people who have been very successful in careers prior to moving into a country club. And therefore, sometimes you get a little bit of people who are used to being the chief, and everyone wants to be the chief, and nobody wants to be, you know, just in the tribe. So, but I think at the end of the day, the majority of people really are trying to make the community as best it can be. And I think it's those kind of messages are really what should be communicated to everybody, you know, who's watching at home. So, Lou, thank you for your comments. I appreciate it. I want to just tell you a little story. I remember when my father, who's in the audience, Steve Koolik, had suggested that I move to a country club. I was living in East Boca, which I had mentioned before. This is when I first met Wendy. And I remember coming to Woodfield, and they were having a murder mystery night. And at that time, it wasn't a very diverse group. It was primarily mostly people who were retired. And I remember being in the dinner, and we were probably the youngest. At that time, I'm 39. I was probably, how old? In my early 20s, mid-20s. And I remember going around, and we were meeting people, and we thought it would really be great. And at the end of the night, I found out, you know, nobody was serving us dinner. I couldn't understand, you know, why we weren't getting attention. And then I found out that the reason that we weren't being served is because they thought we were in the show. So it was kind of funny because we were trying to get involved in the community, and it kind of was a funny experience. So before we cut away to the next segment, what I want to do is we have, I think I have it right here. We have some trivia, country club trivia. So we're going to ask anyone. We're actually giving away a half-hour tennis lesson. So let's see who can guess this. In the United States, there are approximately this many private clubs: 104,000, 19,000, 3,500, or 78,000. Gabriel?
78,000.
That is incorrect.
3,500.
That is incorrect. Mrs. Clayman?
104,000. The last one.
Which is 19,000. All right, Brett, you just won a half-hour tennis lesson. So we'll be right back with Real Estate Today.